Oh, what's up, demons and demonettes? Tis I, a Charaxi, a demon coming, and today we're talking about all things Caesar, the latest banner in Dragon Traveler. But before we get into it, as always, toss a like and subscribe down below. So as you can see, I've already gone ahead and pulled her to a Divinity 6. This is what a Divinity 6 looks like. So yeah, we're going to talk about her abilities, then we'll kind of talk about her star upgrades, and then her divinity else, and then we'll just cover everything else. So alright, so Overdrive deals physical damage to enemies within a cone-shaped area, equals to 755 of attack plus 1960 of own P defense plus M defense. So the more defense she has, the better. Then creates a barrier ahead that lasts for 5 seconds, capable of intercepting up to 20 bullets. So think of anything like a Ifrit that has multiple, like a scatter shot. It's very effective in blocking that. I mean, like your Jings, your Apollos. So any of those ranged heroes, she's very effective against. When the barrier is shattered, increase the number of overdrive energy cost of all enemy luminaries by 1, right? So that works very well with the Dark Team, where you're kind of like ramping up the cost of the enemy's ults, and you're just trying to like negate their ult ability to just kind of like shut them down. So that's good for that. Alright, ultimate skill, Earth Shatter Strike, smashes down her shield, dealing physical damage of 640 plus 980 of Fizz and defense. Again, she's defensive scaling to enemies in a large circle area. This gives punishment and stuns for 3.3 seconds, which is always nice. Secret skill, when taking lethal damage, gains immunity to this damage and consumes all stacks of shield protection. For each stack consumed, restores 3.9% of HP and can trigger only once every 25 seconds. So think of like a high deficit, where I'm at like a Wormbone. She can eat a warrior charge, where say my Athena is not going to be able to eat that warrior charge. So if you're running them together, you could like swap them off, or maybe you want to run Caesar instead of Athena in those cases where you need someone to eat those charges, because again, she's got that cheat death, and that happens once every 25 seconds. Special skill, Servant's Rally, strikes the shield, granting morale and a shield equal to 18% of own max HP to allies in a straight line behind for 8 seconds. When possessing both morale and fervor, enters the grace status. While in the grace status, the shield amount provided by this skill is doubled. Additionally, grants magic defense up, right? So M defense up is always big for PvP, because a lot of your bigger, higher end luminaries are going to do magic damage. Think Poseidon, Vermilion Bird, Loki, who comes out here very shortly. All big magic damage dealers, right? The only one is like Artemis when we get her, that she's not magic. Yeah. So let's talk about her star upgrades, right? So this is her talents. So each time Luminous Barrier blocks a bullet, gains 1 stack of Shield of Protection. Each stack of Shield of Protection increases shield efficiency by 3.7%, and then her Fizz and M defense by a 3.7%, stacks up to 30 times, right? So if she like eats an Ifrit bullet, she's she's going to get a ton of defense and shield efficiency stacks, which is crazy, because then like again, all of her other things scale off of that. Every 10 bullets blocked by a Luminous Barrier applies 1 random blessing buff to self-prioritizing buffs not currently active. That's her 6-star. That's okay. This is the 3 purple star, increase M defense by 50%. So again, that's big. Think PvP. And again, her other abilities scale off of defense, so the more defense she has, the better. The red ability is when Unyielding Echo is triggered, additionally grants damage immunity for 6 seconds. Each time a blessing buff is gained, it grants a shield equal to 15% of max HP. Adds to her survivability, always nice. And the really good one that I like, that makes her really worth pulling to Lego, is the Luminous Barrier automatically creates a barrier when the enemy first uses Overdrive, right? So if she gets interrupted, pushed back, all that stuff, or they have a Mjolnir, it's going to protect her from that. So you're always going to be able to throw that shield up the first time the enemy does the ult. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll talk about her divinities. So Divinity 1's going to give you 5% HP. You're going to get here, you can get Crit Resist or you can get Block. I usually go for the Crit Resist, especially now that a lot of people are unlocking Black Dragon. So you're going to have a lot more crit out there. So that kind of helps out there. Here we just have, again, we can boost M defense more. Her other abilities scale off defense, so that's good. You have a choice, but obviously we don't want to go with that. Divinity skill 6. Again, Sanctum, we can go for 16% magic defense. You know, when an ally enters Grace, she gives out Grace, so more M defense, always good. Alternatively, we could get Haste when they trigger punishment. I just prefer the defense. All right. Here we just have HP or block. I went HP. She doesn't really scale block. So we just went HP. And last is her Holy Lightwell. And this is kind of why I pulled her to Divinity 6. So when the shield is shattered, additionally applies a shield equal to 40% of max HP to self, lasting for 12 seconds, right? So her big shield goes, then she's going to get another shield. So, yeah, it's just, she's just very, very, very tanky. She's good at cheating death. She's a very solid tank. So you can use her on your dark team. If you don't have Athena, you can use her on her light team. It's just the only edge I would say is that Athena has that AoE taunt, which is huge for taunting healers and whatnot. My light team struggles on the DPS side for PvE and PvP a little bit. So currently I'm running them together to add to the efficiency of my Sanctum team, right? Okay, so let's talk about gear. So you kind of want to get, my gear is kind of all over the place right now. It's not exactly great, but we want pretty much the quenched set for her, because she has a lot of stuff that you saw in her kit that gives her M defense, so her Fizz defense isn't exactly there. So we definitely want to give her more of that. And then you can see I went for some crit resistance here, just because that's what I had lying around. Weapon wise, you know, we'll get her a better tanky weapon, right? I mean, increasing HP is not bad, and then give her some self regeneration. Again, more survivability on a tank is never bad. Just not my first choice. And then here we have one that boosts block. So we just gave her another tank one because it boosts block and shield efficiency, and she's very shieldy. So that helps as well. So we just want to kind of like add into her abilities. Maybe not necessarily her best stuff, but yeah. Subclass right now, I have Shield Guard. I think ultimately we want to get to a Templar. This is kind of the best one for her. I just don't have it unlocked. We unlocked subclasses not too long ago. I've been primarily focused on my damage dealers in that regard. That's kind of her kit, her gear, all that stuff. I'd show her skin. I have her skin. Her skin does give her a stat boost, but is not very safe for work. So I just kind of want to like, well, skip that. I mean, she's barely safe for work. I mean, she may not even be safe for work here. I mean, those thighs, and lives. I'll put it that way. Right, so let's go ahead. We'll talk about her boss battle as well. She is key in her boss battle, as most of the banner heroes are. So when an allied guardian gains a shield, permanently increase bonus damage of all allied luminaries by 10%, stacking up to 30 times. So you can see here, you know, I'm in the lead on my server, just kind of like to give you an idea based on like time frame of who has what. That yeah, we're killing it. So I'll show you the team I run here. So as you can see, I'm running a Sanct team, which is perfect for her because she's a Sanctum hero. Right now, since I have Apollo, I'm gonna run Apollo. I don't have Jing. If I had Jing, I would probably build something more around Jing. I would still include Caesar for that effect with the shielding. I would still include Azure Dragon for the effect with the shielding, right? Because those are the two big shieldy heroes. Then I have Gabriel here because you want Gabriel to buff your Apollo. Vivian because she's the best buffer in the game. And then I just threw in Vermilion Bird because, again, she's high burst damage. Kind of works a little well. Kind of has some synergy here with Gabriel, my Gabriel's pretty low. I started maybe like a month ago, so I missed a couple key banners like a Gabriel, Jing, Pompey. So those are the big heroes that I don't really have built up, and I've only had Apollo up once, so I didn't quite get her to Diamond, but I'll be getting her there soon, just because of how much damage she does here. And then we just have our Gold Dragon. Just alt order here is pretty much, I am lazy, I do not manual. So my alt order is going to be Apollo for max damage, then Gabriel, VB, Caesar, Azure Dragon, VV last, right? We don't really need too much heals here. The shielding just provides a damage buff, and I want Apollo to go damage as much as possible. You know, we have the dragon. Can I easily get into here? Yeah, I can. So I could show off. You can see I got the whale artifact. But you know, I've got for this set here. We went for the wings for the extra attack power, and then this guy is more for my PvP setup. So yeah, I mean, we could always try to play around, swap that out for something like Horus here, just to give more damage on the front row. That's an experiment you can try. You have infinite tries on these bosses, so it doesn't really matter. As for our spells, we're going to go with Swift, obviously, and defense, healing, and then Radiant Smite. Right, because whenever they enter Grace status, increases the overdrive damage boost of the next overdrive by 81%, right? So we get that on our Apollo. My Apollo has like 1300 crit because we just unlocked those rare Halkins today. So yeah, she's beast mode there. I also have been using her on the guild boss, and the reason why I use her on the guild boss is because of that shield, right? Now I will manual the guild boss. I do usually do significantly better, and by manualing I actually have a chance to break the second shield on the boss. So we'll go in here and I'll just show you my bossing team, right? So I'll just quick hire some friends here, right? Obviously I have Azure Dragon here for some shielding. We have a Caesar here to add the shield for the breath weapon, which adds to the survivability of our team. And then it's basically just getting Apollo here. So we have Dragon Slayer here to put the debuff on the boss, so I don't have to worry about that thing. We have Vivi here to buffer, and then I just have my magic damage dealers here that deal a significant amount of damage, just to kind of give an overall boost to my team. Again, I would probably switch out either Poseidon or Vermilion Bird if my Gabriel is a bit more invested. However, with my Gabriel being as low as she is, this team is actually the team that does the most damage for me. This is just kind of like, I just run the same team every day, and it is what it is. I usually, right now, I'm usually at or above 200, so I'll take that. I mean, I'm first on my server, so I'll go with that, right? So personal rankings, I'm more than double like the next person. It's mostly because of Apollo. Apollo is just such a good bossing character. Now, if we go into PvP, I am running, you know, I'm kind of limited in my roster at this time. I'm running her on my Sanctum team. Maybe if I had a stronger Sanctum team, then maybe I would swap her off on to Dark, and we could put Vivi here. But the reason why I'm running Chiron's a little bit better for PvP than I think Vivi is, so we're not running Vivian here. We're running a Caesar instead, kind of try to give me a better chance of survival. We have the other big whale here, and you know, it allowed me to like 50-50 them, right? So you can see like I'm 7.1 here. But on a good day, I can 50-50 them. So it kind of stopped them from hitting me multiple times per day, and just kind of helped me kind of maintain my spot. And it puts me in a good position that when I do build my roster, that should be good. I don't really have to typically worry about anybody else attacking me because I have enough power on my account that it's really not going to matter. But that light team is pretty beastly. I would say right now, for my defense, obviously the this needs work. We're set up for Loki here. I would probably swap Caesar for Herman here. If I wasn't running the Sanct team, right? So you have options here. If you did not pull for Athena for whatever reason, you could definitely pull for Caesar and just drop Athena off, slot Vivi in here, and put Caesar more in like the middle or on this side to protect your Apollo. That's PvP. I use her. I don't know if it's up, but I did use her in adventure mode. Yeah, I do use her here because we do have the Sanctum. So it did add a nice boost to my team. I don't think it shows the team here, but yeah, but you could see we did significantly more damage. So she adds, I think she does a little bit more damage than maybe Athena does. She's a little bit better, I think, for bossing than Athena, whereas I think Athena has the edge in, team versus team type PvE combat. And then we can talk about a Colosseum. So Colosseum, for the most part, I'm either going to run for most of my best scores. I don't know if it'll show my team here. Nope. Oh, okay. So yeah. So typically what I do for Colosseum, it's usually geared, I think, towards the banner that is currently out. So I'll either run Chiron, Azure Dragon, Caesar, or I've been messing around with Poseidon. It just depends on the fight. And typically what you want to do is you run your Chiron, then you spam to have Azure Dragon come out as soon as possible. Once, if Azure Dragon doesn't have enough ult carryover or overdrive carryover to kill the third hero, then you swap in your Caesar as soon as that second hero dies. So she charge up, she'll ult, and she'll one-shot the last hero, and that's how you can significantly cut down a lot of your times. Shusi's very good here. As for other game modes, right, you would just slot her in anywhere. I've been using her in Wormbone Ruins. Again, I dropped out Vivi here. My light team struggles with DPS, so I need to add to survivability. I just don't have enough. They just out damage me. I'm just like kind of like they kill my tanks before I can kill them, right? So again, this team has a DPS issue. More levels on my Gabriel would help that, and more levels on my Apollo, star levels on my Apollo would significantly help that. But here you can see I have her eating the charge, because if my Athena eats this charge, my Athena is dead. This guy will just one-shot Athena with a charge. So in that case, hey, I run them both together because Athena is very good with the taunt, especially if you can get her near the enemy healers or priest. She can taunt those as well. But yeah, just Caesar is amazing. I have Caesar skin. I'm not a big fan of the Caesar skin. But I don't like gimmicky joke weapons, so that's kind of why I'm not running. If she had a different weapon, okay, but she's got meat on a stick. It's a gag weapon. I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna talk about this. We're not gonna talk about this. Yeah. So, yeah. As far as I mean, you have this event here. I don't want to show because it's not gonna be safe for work. But you just get your invites and things out of there. Pretty easy to do. And yeah, I don't have relics unlocked yet. We're not old enough, so I don't have those equipped on her yet. I think there is a relic eventually that we do get for her that you're going to want. So usually what I do, or I did in AFK Journey, was I would rank the heroes on a scale of must have, nice to have, skip, right? So must have, I think if you're a whale, she's definitely a must-have. If you didn't pull for Athena and you're not planning to pull for Athena, she is a must-have, right? Because we have Loki coming up. Maybe you want to save pull resources for Loki. Maybe you're free to play and you want to save pull resources for Poseidon, right? You're going to get a very meta tank out of Caesar. She's probably the second best tank overall in the game. She edges out Athena in PvP. She's a better PvP tank than Athena. I don't have Pompeii, so I can't really compare there to Pompeii, because I know Pompeii is a very good PvP tank. But as of right now, she's the best PvP tank I have. She's probably for your dark team or your light team, if you need a very solid tank, then yes, go ahead and grab Caesar. If you're free to play, you can always slot in Herman into your Dark team, and you may not be running Sanctum because it's kind of hard to run Sanctum without Apollo to be effective, especially since we don't. It just depends if you pulled for Gabriel or not, really. But you don't really have a lot of effective damage on Sanctum without Apollo, so it's hard to say like, oh yeah, I don't have Apollo, so I probably don't need Caesar, and you can get a decent Dark tank. You're just passing on one of the best tanks in the game. Eventually, that there's going to be. Now, if you want to run Sanctum and say you want to run Spirit when Loki comes out, and you're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna run Spirit with Loki, Talos, and Jing once we get Talos, then yeah, by all means, you definitely want Caesar, because you're probably, you may need her for your Sanct team, because then you can move Athena over to your Spirit team. You can slot in your Caesar in to your Sanctum team if that's kind of what you're going to run for your 3-team set, and then maybe like a Dark team or an Echo team, and you're really not going to have a lot of crossover or interference on those types of teams. So she's definitely a very good backup to have over Athena. So again, if you didn't pull Athena, definitely want to get her. So she's really, really good. Is she like a must-have game break character? I don't think she's game break. I think she's, if you're spending, definitely you want to get her. She's just really, really nice to have. I definitely wouldn't skip her. The recommendation is typically, if you're free to play or light spend, to just pull at least one copy. So that way you can either, start building them through Heart Trial, or, that way, or you can marry them up with a slime when you get a slime, and then just, get her to 6-star, which is purple 1, and just kind of build that way, and then just build over Heart Trial, that type of thing. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one, and then I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!